Gotcha. Um, what about because I tried to register on Backstage, but it did not work for me. And yeah, it's like mostly at Actors Access is where I get booked and where I get like emails and
Okay.
yeah, and it kind of pays off my whole membership, the yearly membership, and yeah,
And Backstage doesn't do that?
no, I don't, yeah, because it just didn't work for me because I remember
Okay.
it being complicated and I did not find like because all I saw were student films and they weren't
Yeah.
paid and I'm like, oh,
Oh,
darn it,
yeah.
I'm broke already, guys.
Yeah.
But
I use Backstage because Actors Access is much more friendly to actual product. It's not as friendly toward independent films. They're more for like union productions. But since I'm not doing union productions,
yeah,
I don't even know if they'll kind of let me be on there, but I can't boost the post. Whereas on Backstage, I feel like I stand out. If I'm someone who's, going to pay someone and I'm on Backstage, then I get plenty of applicants. So,
yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, if you're okay with being an independent film
Hmm.
that's going to go far,
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
then I would stay on Backstage. But I mean, most independent films, it's a long shot.
Gotcha,
Unless it's with
gotcha.
me, then it's definitely going to be successful.
Yeah, good. Um, let's see.
I mean, oh, that's another thing I would say too, an actor is like, um, I feel like be willing to do stuff like be willing to work for free, like not on the student films you're talking about, not on this crazy stuff, but like be willing to work with people just through the experience of working with people, and then also
Okay.
like the some of the best people I've ever worked with just haven't ever asked me for money.
Yeah.
They never. Whereas like some people, like after their first audition, they'll be like, okay, how much am I getting paid? And it's like, and I've just found the best people to work with are the ones who are like, I don't care. I mean, I don't care what you pay me. I want to be in your movie because I know if I'm in your movie, it'll be successful. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, thank you. Well, first off, thank you. But I like that attitude coming in. One actress, she was like, you don't have to pay me anything. All I want is to be in your movie. And I was like, I'm going to pay you something. She's like, no, don't pay me. I just want to be in the movie.
I wanna be the movie. And,
So
yeah, and
of
it's for
course
the
I said, even when I paid her, I was like, okay, it's time to pay you. She was like, oh no, Billy, you don't need to.
yeah.
Like she had worked 3 days in a row, nonstop, all day, every day. And like middle of the night, like 2 in the morning, I was like, let me pay you. And I went to the private room to pay her privately, so it wasn't in front of everybody. And she sat down next to me. She's like, really, you don't need to pay me. It's fine. And I'm like, I love that attitude. And of course I paid her, but I mean, I love that attitude of like just wanting the experience.
Hmm. And
Mm-hmm.
for the love of craft and
Yeah.
networking and
Yes. Yes.
friendships. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
And recognizing that if you're in an independent film, you're not going to make a fortune, but that it's going to, if it's with the right people, that's going to lead to bigger things. Like she knew that if she were in the girl scene movie, that everybody would know what that was, that it was going to do well, that it was going to be seen. And that's why she wanted to do it. It was just, she knew that it was basically like the best publicity she could have for herself and for her career. So that's good, is because it's the opposite of what I said, of people who you know apply for a part and go, exactly how much am I being paid, and you want to have that attitude of openness and just wanting to move ahead.
Yeah. I don't wanna point at myself like giving me as an example, but I have a friend and she's Mexican and she's Puerto Rican, but she also speaks English and she has been auditioning for a lot of casting directors and some of them keep telling her, oh, you should do dialect, like take a dialect class, but she doesn't want to lose her accent, but and they don't want to cast her in the movie because she speaks with a thick accent. What should she do?
That's weird, because it's like if I see somebody who has an accent, I I'm thinking use it.
Yeah.
There was this one. I was just looking at someone. He had a South African accent, and he was trying to cover it up. And I was like, no, and one girl auditioned for me. It didn't work out, but she was Russian.
Yeah.
And, she had a Russian accent. It's like, why would I ever not want someone to have a Russian accent? That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, like to me, like the fact that she had that made her more interesting. Right. So I guess first off, this is like, oh God, I hate that. I just hate that. But I guess they're saying they just want her to be able to switch into more of an American accent. I don't know. I personally think accents are wonderful.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, don't you?
I do. I mean, I like all accents. I like French accents and Italian accents, and well, especially when males in their 40s speak them. But they're just like my thing. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So there's that. Yeah, it brings the uniqueness, and there's already like a lot of white Americans out there, and with all kinds of accents, but.
Yeah, that's strange. I'm just surprised that people would hear that. But no, I definitely, if I find out an actor has an accent and they're covering it up, I'm like, no, stop doing that. We want the accent.
Yeah. What should actors not do in their auditions? What are the things that basically are like, no, this is bad. We do not want to see him or her. Them.
One thing they do is in their reels, they just put in video of themselves crying.
Oh,
I'm like, like that kind of crying. And so I see that in a lot of reels. Like it'll be like 1 minute of them going, and I mean, okay, I'm not used to talking to an actor, so this is great. So that's actually really bad technique. That's the worst technique you could have. And so they're putting it in there because they're like, oh, I want to show my versatility and that I can cry. But basically what you're showing me is that you don't know how to cry. Okay, so the deal is if you're really crying, you're trying not to cry. So a reel where someone is doing a good job with the crying is that like tears are coming out of their eyes, but they're like trying to keep it together. There's no like that doesn't happen. Like I know next time you're crying, you're going to be upset, right? But try to look at yourself like you're trying to hold it in as much as you can. One audition a guy sent me, it was like the best crying I've ever seen. He was talking just like we are now, and the character, they brought up his mother, and he was still just kept talking like this, and I swear tears started like literally shooting out of his eyes. He wiped his face off and kept talking. And I was like, oh my God.
How does it do that?
Oh my God. That was so good. So you can put crying in there if it's good, but most people just have these and I just have to skip through it. I'm like, well, I'll skip a minute into this reel and they're still crying. And it's like, okay, I get it. You can pretend to cry.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to see people crying. I want to see how like talking like this. Like, how do you talk when a camera is pointed at you? Like, what does your face move like? And so, and then have a reel where I can see your face. I know that sounds silly, but you wouldn't believe how many people will have like a 5-minute long reel. And the first 3 minutes are them just in this dark, dark room and you can't see what they're doing. It's like, start out the reel with the good stuff, right? The stuff you want me to see. Like start it out with that. Start out with a clear image of your face and you talking and you interacting. Another thing I see too much is editing in the reels, too much editing because it'll be a scene between two people and they won't want the other person shown. So they'll just cut to their dialogue. And I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Just show the scene. Oh gosh. Basically it's the crying in the reels is a really bad idea.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Don't have that unless you have like the natural face with a tear falling down. That's kind of cool. I'm impressed with that. I can't do that. I can't really do that. It's okay. People don't know it's the tear thing. The way you get the tear thing to happen is either you're naturally good at crying, but I have like, but it's just hard to do when you're on a set and there are all these people around and all this noise, all this commotion, it's not like in theater where you have time to sit in it. It's kind of like everything is go, 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 stop and cry right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that. Like, even if you're extraordinarily gifted, it's very hard to do that. So the trick is to hold in. You'll see, if you watch in movies, the next time you see someone who's talking just like this and then a tear falls straight down, what you do is you hold your eye open while you're talking, and I can't do it. You don't blink for 60 seconds. So you're just talking through the scene, delivering your lines, but you're doing kind of what I'm doing right now, which is holding your eyes open and not blinking, but not like wide open like that, just kind of holding them open and not blinking at all. And if you do this for long enough, it's really hard to do, so you have to practice. But if you do this for long enough, when you eventually do blink like that, tears come down. So that's the technique for crying. And that's all you have to do. It's so easy. So easy. I actually can't do it because I have dry eye. So, I mean, I can't cry anyway, you know. I mean, I can cry, but tears barely come out. But that's the technique if you want to cry on camera. So where was I going with this? That's how you cry on camera. So, but I'm just saying, oh God, you know, I think a lot of things, people go to acting, they just try too hard to act. And like, what you can do is get on YouTube and learn stuff like the thing I just said, like hold your eye open for 60 seconds and the tears will come out. It's easy stuff. Like before you sign up for acting lessons, just learn as much as you can online.
Okay.
Because so much of it is just like little tricks like that.
Yeah.
There's
this guy on YouTube, and he's ethnic looking. It's like Asian, Korean, I don't know. And there's no name. I cannot IMDb him, but he gives really good advices. And I'm like, who are you, person? Like, I don't know if you know, like he has like a lot of subscribers, and but I cannot find him. But he gives really good advice. So I'll
find him. I can find anybody.
Yeah, cool.
I'm good at that kind of thing. You want to interview me?
Yeah, well, that'd be great. I don't think I have any more questions.
Oh my gosh, well, it's just so great to get to talk about acting stuff. I mean,
talk to me anytime about acting. I love talking about it.
I guess what I would say, I mean, I think I've gotten in trouble a lot of times for being in character on set, you know, because people don't understand that.
No, they don't.
Yeah. And so I think you've got to realize that if you're really serious about acting, you're not just kind of like one of those people who shows up and smiles and says their lines. If you're really gonna pursue acting seriously, you're gonna have a hard time. It's hard to do. It's hard to truly act. Another thing is this guy's he applied for something, and they have training, and he had listed, I'm not going to say the guy's name, so I'm just going to say John Smith. Okay. That he had a special intensive acting course with John Smith. And I know John Smith, and John Smith is a terrible actor. Terrible. I could not have clicked off this guy's profile faster, you know. And so look into the people you're learning from, because I mean, this John Smith guy is very nice and very pleasant, and he's been in a number of films, but he can't act. That's okay. God bless him. Yeah. He can't act. But I mean, but it's just funny. These people are saying, I was in his acting class. And it's like, oh, that is not good news. Yeah. That is not good news stuff. Like these acting classes can a lot of times be overrated. Screenwriting classes can be overrated. Like, I don't suggest screenwriting classes. Just read as many books as you can. For acting, I would just watch YouTube stuff. You just got to be careful. Acting classes. There was an actress on a talk show. It was hosted by Jeff Goldblum. He was filling in for someone, and she was talking. She's a young actress. She was talking, and she was like, "And I'm taking acting classes." And Jeff Goldblum like jumped out of his chair, and he's like, "Oh, dear. Now we have to be careful with that. Yeah. You really maybe don't want to do that." And it's just funny that, you know, that Jeff Goldblum, he hears acting classes, and he immediately like tries to tell the person, "No, really, don't take them." I don't know how do you feel about acting classes?
I mean, I've been told to only take classes from working actors who are always working on set, who are booking stuff, who are good actors. Yeah, and yeah, because I know some of my friends. There's this guy in Atlanta, and I'm sure he's a nice guy too. It's just he is not an actor. He
Yeah.
used to be. He was a background actor, and
Oh,
and I think he's not even a casting director. He's a crew member. So it's like how can you guys like take acting classes from somebody who's not an actor? So I don't understand that. Yeah.
yeah. It's like it's dangerous territory.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like with acting, you've either got it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like singing. Like I can't sing. I took a bunch of lessons. I still can't sing. It got better, but I'm never going to be a singer. Just I'm not like I can carry a tune, but like I would never be like I'm going to make an album. I can't sing. I wasn't born with it. I don't have that. So I think a lot of people can be trained to be pretty okay on if someone doesn't have that natural ability, you can be taught to be pretty okay on camera and comfortable, but you're never really going to have that natural ability. But so I do think there has to be the same goes with writing. I think you either have it or you don't. And if you don't have it, don't be completely discouraged because you can learn. But I mean, I think a lot of times people have to accept their limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe if you can't write, well, maybe you can. Maybe if you look into it, you'll find out you're really good with a camera and you can be a
Yeah.
camera person. Like just because you're not good at something, like don't let that be the end of it. Like find another way in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want to be an actor and you're not good at it. Well, learn how to run a camera. You might find out that you enjoy that way more than acting. Like me, I
Yeah.
never thought I would enjoy directing. Oh my God, that's the hardest job in the world. I never wanted to direct, but I mean, look, now it's great.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you can always like tell people what to do and like, okay, you did this. Okay, tell them they need to come here ASAP or something like
yeah. You can try.
that. Cool. Well, this was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on. Oh, thank you for getting me to speak Russian after 8 years.
You're welcome.
It's so embarrassing.
No, you're fine. No, my Russian started to become terrible because now, because I've been speaking English, American English for so long that I sound Russian, but I have American accent, and it's like,
No.
yeah, I don't know, it's weird, but yeah.
Well, you've inspired me. I'm gonna pick it up again
Yes,
because
do
it's a
it.
beautiful language and it helps to know it. I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Enough people speak Russian and I mean, I know I sound silly when I'm speaking it, but it's like I can understand it when I hear it on TV, and that's a really cool thing.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
yeah, because right now, like people speak Spanish, and I'm like, well, I don't know Spanish, but I try to learn Italian. Does that help? Yeah.
So are you like from Moscow or?
No, I'm from Kherson or Kherson. It's like south of Ukraine. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep. But my mom, she was from. Nope. I'm sorry. My grandma, she was from Russia. So.
Oh, okay. So
Um.
how did your family end up in Ukraine?
My. I actually don't know that. I just know my mom was born in Ukraine, and then her mom was raised in Russia, and then I don't know, they just came to Ukraine. I mean, family stuff, and I gotta ask her because I don't really know
That's
my family
cool.
history.
And then how did you end up in America?
In America, so my mom, she was actually a mail order bride. And she met this guy through a marriage agency, and then he flew us in. And yeah, they got
Oh, that's so
divorced.
sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, they got divorced?
They got divorced, but it's fine because he was a shithead. Excuse my language.
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah,
Mhm.
but she's fine now. Yeah, tries to she tries for me to come home to them, but I'm like 2 hours away and I'm kind of doing stuff and but yeah, I try to see her as much as I can.
Oh. Okay, good. That's a cool story.
Thank you.
I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad you got away from the shithead.
Yes.